Hey everybody, it's Emily the Crazy Worm Lady. I'm here today to get our migration method bin started. If you saw my post trying to harvest, I struggled. The compost was too wet and worms were all throughout it. So I've decided to give this method a shot. I did post a video how I set this bin up. The idea is feeding one side, and once the compost is completed, you start feeding the other side. The worms move over to that new side, and then this side is ready to be harvested, whether you screen it or just pull it out. And a lot of people say this is the most effective method for them. So I want to add the worms that I harvested today. I didn't get quite as many as I would have hoped. Just really struggled to screen them out. The compost was just too wet. So that cloth I just pulled out of the bucket that I had the worms in, and I'm going to get a handful of these guys and show you what this worm ball looks like. And with this ball of compost that they're in, there's also some cocoons in here. This will be an excellent start to our bin. I would estimate this is probably close to a pound of worms I have in here. So that's more than sufficient to start a Rubbermaid tote like this. This is a 10-gallon tote. So I'm just going to put them in the middle here. They'll settle in and acclimate to their new home. And I'm going to add just a little bit of food over here. Okay, so I got the rest of the worms in here, and I'm just going to cover these guys up with some of that bedding. And I'm going to come down on this side and add our food, kind of right up against this wall here. So I collect scraps from coworkers and friends, family, so I've got a bag that my friend brought me with some banana peels and cucumber and stuff like that. So I'm going to add 2 banana peels with that little piece of cucumber. And I am just going to cover this back up. You don't want to attract fruit flies, so you want to make sure you cover everything really well. And I'm just going to give a little shake of some eggshell over the top here as well. I know it's a very liberal amount, but I'm doing it that way because I'm going to knock it down in here. And since this bin has never had food in it before, I want to make sure there's a decent amount of grit in there for them. Then I'm just going to lay some of these shop cloths over the top of this bin, and I moistened the bedding on both sides. So that way, if for some reason there's something in the bin that the worms don't like, they can come over to this side where there's no food, nothing acidic or hot. That's another benefit to doing the migration method. So let me know what you think. Like this video, subscribe if you want some more content from me, and I will be back with you guys next week for an update on this bin.